Alright, looks like I'm live. Alright, I'm ready to get this show underway. Wichita Falls, that's where we're headed to. On this fine 4th of July evening. Hauling fireworks. Seems appropriate.
Here.
Well, I do like them trailer skins you made there, TK.
Thank you. Yeah. Here. Here. Ooh. Whoops.
Yeah. No traffic, no foul.
Keep right, and then turn right. Turn right.
Now, Bear was telling me earlier that he likes that orange icons mod too.
I noticed after I posted it on his Discord, the numbers kind of jumped.
Yeah.
Go straight.
I popped into his Discord voice chat room a couple hours ago.
And then exit left.
Didn't realize he was in the middle of a live stream. He was pulling one of our tricks, fun run.
Ah,
Except they were doing it bobtail, and he's got a transmission pack mod that he was using, making 130 to 140 mile an hour entirely possible.
oh boy. I know with the setup I have on this, even with the 800 horse cat, I'm lucky to get this into the triple digits.
Yeah, well, he was using the same engine, and he was running 140 mile an hour.
Yeah. All about that gearing ratio.
Yeah, gives a lot taller rear diff ratios.
Oh, it's the 4th of July. They ain't working right now anyway.
Ah. Wonder if when they get done with this interchange, SCS will go in and add it to the map.
Update it.
Yeah.
Be nice if they do. I am a little disappointed that they're not going to wind up doing the Dakotas as a bundle.
Yeah.
So in my humble opinion, that better be one cheap DLC. 'Cause there ain't going to be much in Dakota.
Unless
Like
they,
they're doing South Dakota first, right?
yeah. Say, not going to be a whole lot there unless they put in a lot of tourist attractions.
Yeah, the only thing I've seen so far is Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Keep left.
And it looks like Bear's in your chat.
Hey, Bear, how's it going? kind of forgot to tell you a while ago that I was planning a live stream with Trucker King. I was telling him about that fun run y'all just got through doing a little bit ago.
Keep right.
Yeah, we always enjoyed them when we done them.
Yep.
Although, I do have to wonder, have you ever actually finished one, TK?
I plead the fifth.
I mean, just about every time at some point, late in the run, you get bored and start having the brain and TK problem.
Yeah.
Damn consoling around, dropping out of the air right in front of people. That was a whole lot funnier when Bucks would join in with us.
Yeah, he's hoping to be back up and running here shortly.
Yeah, I hope so. It's been too long since we've run with him.
Yeah. Then we get the he's gotta do it for science.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Ain't been near enough of those poor science moments.
Okay. Well, the problem is these newer maps that we've been running, there really ain't a lot of for science areas.
Yeah,
A
yeah,
little flat.
yeah.
Alright.
Keep left.
Oh. Keep glancing over at chat and not paying attention to the road.
That part's optional.
Yeah, yeah.
Keep left.
How you doing, RD? Welcome in. fuel gauge is busted again on the Yarra route advisor.
Yeah. Did they have it working there for a bit?
They did. It broke with the update.
Ah.
Some pilot pointed out when I was streaming one of the nights, and he's like, "Oh, it's working again. I might have to start using it." I'm like, well, you better wait until after the update and see what happens.
Yeah. I don't guess I ever really noticed that it was working again. I got so used to it not working, I just didn't pay any never mind.
Yeah. I don't usually look at that anyway. I think because of that, because it normally doesn't work, I just use my Truckee overlay. Or actually look in the cab, but
Yeah.
depends on what truck I'm driving.
Yeah, that's the thing about these
Keep left.
long noses. They come with a little additional fuel capacity.
Yep. I mean, the Cascadia used to be able to run 300 with the Cascadia on the older models, because that's what I had when I started driving. It was two 150 tanks, but that was when it didn't have to have the DEF tank added.
Yeah.
Because my first Cascadia didn't have DEF. It was one of the first gen ones.
Keep right. And then exit right.
It actually had a stick sticking out of the middle of the floor.
What? No way.
Exit right.
Yeah, I miss that. I really do.
Yeah. You know, I never drove one of these things that didn't have
Exit right.
3 pedals and a stick standing up the middle.
Yeah.
Exit right.
Like I said, the only thing is like when I used to work for Goodwill and had to do a lot of local, the automatics were nice for the city streets. But when you're doing long haul and crap, Whoop, nope, you don't want that. You want the stick. It gives you something to do while you're driving.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like the first several years that I was driving, there wasn't no such thing as cruise control on a truck.
Yeah.
You know,
Go straight.
paying enough attention to maintain the correct speed was just part of staying alert.
Are we gonna blow target up?
Well, we got enough firecrackers here to do it.
And then turn right. Turn right.
It's actually an easy one. As I say that, I'm gonna screw this up. Watch.
Definitely an easy one for me. I decided to pick this spot out here in the middle. I'm gonna have to change that back one of these days, but
So did you know that trucks now have disc brakes all the way around?
yeah, I knew it was an option.
When they were doing changing my drive tires out, and I seen them off, and I seen the discs on the drive tire, drive axles. I'm like, when did that start? I mean, I knew they had them on the steers. I didn't know you could get them on the drives.
Yeah, it's just like Air ride steer. I remember when that first came out. That was a game changer.
Yeah.
Air ride trailers. Ooh, man, that made things so much nicer.
Yeah. Let's see.
Have another
Even
one.
though I don't like.
Don't have another one picked out yet.
No, because I was trying to find something that just picked up here, but it's all used pallets, waste paper, used packaging.
Yeah, I don't like them loads. I mean, I get it.
Neither do I.
Occasionally there's you know, empty pallets to go back to a warehouse or something like that. But this game makes it seem like that's all there ever is.
Yeah.
You know, takes 10 truckloads of freight before you even think about having a truckload of empty pallets.
Hmm. I got furniture going down to Brownsville, but it's a watt load. Definitely more options that way, but let me look again real quick. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
If I got any decent around here, stop off.
Almond got almond boxes going up to Nampa, Idaho. Rock Spring, Grand Junction, tableware, Camp Verde, salt.
Yeah, I got some going to Kansas or Missouri. How close they are, but Gerardo, Missouri.
I got Springfield potatoes, 40,000 pounds.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
All right, picking up at Tyson. It's not a world of trucks, so we gotta go to it first.
All right, well, let's see if I can follow you then.
Right up the road.
Catch you later, Bear.
Have a good one. Make us, what, get on the highway and then get right back off.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, well, this is still great for me, so It's turning yellow.
Oh no, it's not the highway. I don't know what that was. Looked like it. Maybe a state highway instead of a interstate. Well, never been to Tyson yet over here.
Hell, I lost sight of you.
You passed it.
Yeah, I did.
Turn around. Oh, this is gonna be easy.
I guess I've never been here either.
I had to put a trailer here.
You've got the contract. Now go.
Yeah, you picking up.
You got me going all the way down to the edge of this parking lot.
Let's go.
That trailer's parked in an inconvenient spot, but
Yep.
Yeah, I see your little pink hand there in the.
Getting ready to turn left. Turn left.
GPS man trying to get me to turn left. Alright, car gonna stop in the middle of the road. I'm gonna go behind it. What in the world's going on over there?
Keep left.
Trying to pad your miles.
Yeah. Dude, the way the ratio is in this game, that could add 100 miles to my load.
Yeah,
The scaling is.
yeah.
I mean, shoot, I drove 9 miles, according to the game, when we pulled out of the first load there to the fuel station. That was 9 miles.
Right.
Yeah, as I was turning in, it's saying like 10 or 11 miles.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, I've been to that port numerous times. I think you can make 3 laps around it and still not get 10 miles on the odometer.
Keep left.
Put up here on the outside view just in case. Whoa! Oh.
I saved it.
Yeah, I see that. And I managed to miss you.
I don't know how I saved that. It was going over.
Yeah. All I could see was the underside of the truck all the way across the road. Had to do a little grass fault driving there to get through that one.
Keep right.
Yeah, what you're saying a while ago about the Dakota, you know, if they would bundle the two together, or even 2 or 3 states, you know, any 2 or 3 states together, I wouldn't mind paying a little more. You know, like Texas was a bit more than normal cost of a map DLC, but it was worth it. I mean, it was.
Yep.
It was huge.
Yeah.
You know.
Like I said, I remember we did I-10 all the way across. It took a day. Teaming. It took 24 hours teaming to get across Texas.
Keep left.
Yeah. I think I looked it up one time, and I think it was further across Texas than it was from the Texas border to the where California meets the ocean at its closest point.
Yep. Yeah, it's a definitely a big state.
Yes. You know, so I didn't mind paying 50% more for that DLC.
Yeah. All I know is they're gonna have to when they get to the East Coast.
Keep left.
Either that or DLCs are gonna have to be like $8.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're either gonna have to start bundling them or cut the price down because it just won't be worth it.
No. And they're gonna have to play with the scaling. I mean, think about it. Think about when they get to Rhode Island.
Yeah. I mean, at the
At
current
this rate-
scaling, it wouldn't take 45 seconds to drive clear across the state.
Yeah. I mean, Mass isn't big. Connecticut isn't big. I mean, by the time I enter Massachusetts off of 90, it only takes me 90 minutes to get to Hartford, Connecticut, after I cross the border from New York. Because I do a lot of loads down to Rocky Hill, Connecticut, which is just south of Hartford. Down 91.
Yeah, I can see
Not a big
that.
state.
I mean, the amount of compression they use on the map is blatantly obvious to me after they come out with this Oklahoma DLC.
Yeah. You know, another one
Keep left.
is going to be Florida with how narrow it is.
Yeah.
tall state, long state, but it's very narrow. But in real life, it still takes a decent amount of time to get from the Gulf over to the Atlantic.
Keep left.
Yeah.
Florida traffic's horrible. Especially in Orlando. That's because you're taking every idiot driver from all over the country and sticking them down there.
Yeah. Too many tourist attractions in the area.
That's why I had fun putting around in the Mustang I rented. Had somebody piss me off, I just floored it.
One of the most memorable loads I ever hauled. Went into Florida, went to Panama City Beach, some big fancy resort hotel. Hauling a dry van with 2 Volkswagens in it.
Nice. I mean, my most memorable load isn't anything special like that. It was just, baffling to me that I even ran it. And that was when I picked up a trailer load of... It's gonna hit me? Okay. A trailer load of great value water from Phoenix and brought it all the way up here to Marcy, New York. From Niagara Bottling. I'm like, really? Because the company I work for now does Walmart's water. So that's why it just blew my mind that I drove 3/4 of the way across the country with a load of water.
Keep left.
Yeah.
But didn't complain too much because it got, like I said, I was able to hit 85% of the states while I was still training. In the 2 weeks that I was, my last 2 weeks of training, because I routed to go the team driving route with my trainer.
Yeah. Running team with a trainer or,
Yeah.
even another regular driver. Man, you can rack up some miles in the states you can see in a week.
Yeah.
Like when I first started out, the company that I hired on with for the first over-the-road job, they had you do so many miles with a trainer, part of which was single dispatch, and part of was as team dispatch, and then they would team you up with another driver that, about the same experience level, and have you all run team for, so many miles. And
that's what U.S. Express did for people that were from the Northeast, because otherwise you wouldn't get your home time because they just didn't have the loads for solo bringing you. Yeah, sorry. Oh, I just blew the transmission. I just went from 7 high to 2 high.
yeah, that's not good.
Except the guy they teamed me with was an idiot. He wanted to go storm chasing in an empty truck.
Yeah, you told me about that. No, that's not cool.
So I got to spend a week in Joplin. after that. That was back in, 2013 when that big F5 hit Kansas City.
Yeah.
That's where we were heading.
Yeah, the guy they teamed me up with was actually a friend of mine.
Oh, you got lucky. Yeah, they tried to find someone that was somewhat close to where I lived, and he was from Rochester. So he was a weirdo. Freaking his guy was probably in his 40s, I want to say. Late 30s, early 40s. And his girlfriend was following behind us in the car. And I bet you she was only 19, 20.
Wow.
And she drove all the she followed us everywhere. I mean, she even was up in Utah. Because I remember I had my uncle come pick me up, and I did my 34-hour reset at his house out in Utah because she was sleeping in the truck with him.
How in the world was she able to keep up with y'all running team?
I don't know. She did it.
And then turn right.
Heavy duty tweaking going on there, I believe.
Well,
Turn right.
I think he was, because I've never known of a grown man to take a DOP kit into a highway rest area, not a truck stop, just the rest area with the bathrooms and sinks, and spend an hour and a half in that bathroom.
Yeah, there's definitely something weird going on there.
Yeah.
Keep left.
But I got the last laugh, like I said, when I was sitting in the hotel room after the night dispatcher gave me crap for jumping out of the truck. I'm watching the news, and I watched the truck get blown over live on TV.
Yeah. It's always great when you can tell them, see, I told you so.
Yep. Listen, I'm sorry. I mean, I may have tried to risk it if we actually had a load, but we were empty. I'm in the truck stop, just got out of the shower, and the sirens are going off, and they're rushing everybody into the shower area at the truck stop, hunkering everyone down.
Yeah, that's about the only safe place to be in there is the most interior part. They don't have a basement.
Yep. Out at the I-44, that little I-80 truck stop, basically. Had the nice classic custom trucks inside to look at, little showroom and whatnot. It was a nice truck stop.
Yeah.
That is the one truck stop I never got to go to. I passed it a bunch of times. Never got to go to it. Was the Iowa 80.
Yeah, same here. I don't know how many times I passed it. But I was always a little too pressed for time to be able to stop and
Yep.
take a look.
That's how it was for me. Like, I don't got time to stop. Like, son of a...
Yep. Yeah, there was one winter there that they had me running back and forth across Interstate 80 and north of there, scout picking much, that I was stopping to get fuel, and I decided, the heck with it, I was going to go to the one on the south side of the highway just so I could say I've been south of Interstate 80.
Yeah. I did that. Got stuck up in Blaine, Washington when the I-5 bridge collapsed up there during the holiday weekend.
Oh.
I went over the bridge like an hour and a half before it went down. All because of welcome in, everyone. Wow, I'm getting a bunch of people jumping into my YouTube stream now. Gamerboy2025, welcome in. Happy 4th.
Keep left.
Cam TF141, welcome in. Cool. Yeah, just doing a little 4th of July convoy with Wolf here. You guys want to check out his live stream? It's down in the description. Yeah, it's oh, I got some interesting experiences driving with US Express, that's for sure.
Yeah, I would imagine. I mean, we all have our little unique stories. No two's alike.
Yeah. I just remember being up there, being trapped up there on the holiday weekend, and I'm sitting there on my phone looking at flight tickets to get me home.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
I wasn't making any money. They were only paying us like 23 cents a mile at the time.
Wow.
You know, I'm out 6-8 weeks at a time, and just bringing home $400 or $500 a week.
I'm gonna say I was making more than that 36 years ago when I first got into trucking.
Then exit right.
Yeah. Nah, they and then all they did was
Exit right.
gave you a 10-cent a mile increase. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. So that's why I wound up eventually letting my hazmat slip. I didn't want to renew it because I wasn't getting enough compensation to keep it going.
Yeah.
And the only hazmat load I ran was paint thinner for Home Depot.
Then exit right.
And it wasn't even enough to have it placard.
Exit right.
Oh, I took a sign out.
Turn left.
Alright. It's a roundabout.
One of them there roundabouts.
Yep. Appreciate it.
Get turn right.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Once we get this delivered, I'll dev the time so we can see.
Keep right. And then turn
Yeah, you like them
Show
purple
up.
gauges?
Yeah, they seem to have gotten worse with the update.
No, I actually have purple gauges in my truck. Got a
Oh,
comment?
yeah, you do.
Got a comment about it. I mean, the whole truck's purple,
Oh, nice.
actually.
Whoa, whoa. Oh, wow, that went up quick.
I can't really see it in the dark. Back in here where I
Yeah.
can see the GPS.
Get ready to turn right.
This is a little weird. Here. Now you can see.
Then turn right.
If it's raining on my screen. Okay, where is it? 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 There it is.
Oop, I hit the wrong
This is
button.
going to be interesting. Been good. Went and seen fireworks earlier.
Light's still not right to be able to see the truck, so
Yeah, it'll get brighter here soon, hopefully. Came back and decided to run a few miles for the 4th, show off the trailer skins. Oh, and now it's going to be difficult for me.
yeah, this truck and trailer skin that I'm
Nice.
running is made by TK.
Thank you. Yeah, I did these up last weekend, threw them on the Steam Workshop for the 4th. There's 3 iterations of it. This one, the one that Wolf's running, and there's one more. Well, both of us here, guys, are real-life truck drivers. Wolf's retired. I'm still going. I'm just off for the holiday weekend. You get out of here.
Yeah, I am retired because, well, I've got kids your age, TK.
Yeah. Just real quick. Show these up.
Turn around here.
Did this one up. That one that Wolf's running. And this one. Yeah. So is Wolf. I haven't had the luxury of being able to drive many Pete's. I have, but company I work for now has got me running a newer Cascadia.
Well, I did spend most of my time over the road driving T600s because that was a big company truck back in the day in the long nose, but at least it had a nose, unlike 90% of the company trucks on the road at that time.
Yep.
You know, I did drive a couple old Pete's and a KW W900. Even spent a little time driving a Kenworth K100 cab over. There is a mod for that. I have the mod. ATS God said, nope, do not use that truck. Every time I
Yep.
use it, I make it about 100 miles and something happens and the truck's totaled.
Yep.
no-
You even went flying.
Yeah, through no fault of my own.
All right, let's see. Let's see if I could get something out of the... Got a decent mileage on it. Coming out of Subtropolis. Buttermilk. That's a decent one. That's a nice long one. 1,200 miles. You up for that?
Sure. So it comes out of
Underground.
caves. Okay, cool.
Yep. Going to Nogales, Arizona.
All right, I got a pin on the map, so I don't have to.
Yep. Yeah, they're nice trucks. They're the Cadillacs of the trucking industry, in my opinion.
Come on, how many times do I got to hit the space bar before it decides to let me have my park brake release?
Two more times.
That finally done it. I think it's probably about time to change the batteries in my keyboard.
Yeah, that's. I had a wireless mouse, but the battery kept dying, and I had enough, so I spent the extra money and got the wired one.
Well, I had a real nice USB mouse mechanical keyboard that was backlit, but the keyboard started acting up and would disconnect and reconnect continuously, and I decided I couldn't live with that.
All my stuff's Razer. I got a Razer Black Widow keyboard, and then a Razer Ballistics mouse. I like the keyboard because, especially when playing this game, it backlights to the game. So the only keys that light up for me are keys that I have assigned something to. Everything else stays dark. If I get a ticket or something, it flashes red and blue,
Oh yeah,
like a cop car.
that's cool.
So does all my RGB in my tower. My liquid cooler and all that will flash red and blue when I get a ticket. When I fuel up, the lights on the keyboard flash going upwards as the tank's filling and shows me my fill level for my tank as I'm fueling up.
Huh. Some reason
I think I paid $180 for the keyboard. It's mechanical. It's got all the, multi-function keys on it.
Yeah.
The macro keys on it. But I've always been a fan of Razer keyboards.
Yeah, I've never tried one with a keyboard. Like I say, I had the mechanical backlit, liked it real well, but
And then turn right.
it kept disconnecting and reconnecting. I was like,
Turn right.
nah, that's not going to cut it.
Nope.
RGB on my liquid cooler, I just got it set for single color because I don't like lights flashing off out of the corner of my eye.
Yeah. So right now, since nothing's happening, it's white. It's a solid white. When I'm not playing ATS or ETS, it does a red-black hue, but it makes the black is just to make it look like the water's running through the hoses. Because I got one that the hoses are RGB. Only downside with it is the fans are loud, really loud. When I was reading the reviews on it, they all warned everyone of that, but I was being stubborn and I wanted one that had RGB hoses on it, and this was the only one I could find that wasn't one where I had to build it.
Yeah. I was just when I bought mine, I was just looking for a all-in-one liquid cooler that keep that processor cool. So I had an air cooler that came with it, and it was not up to the task. That 5900X was running a little too hot for my taste.
Exit right.
Yeah, I was.
Keep right. And then turn right.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for the follow on Twitch too.
Turn
Most of my stuff is done over here on Twitch. Once in a while, I'll throw a YouTube one up. Mainly because Twitch is just easier to set up, and I'm monetized over on Twitch.
Turn right. Turn right.
I was close with YouTube at one point, and then I let it fall off. I think I gotta go inside.
It's all over now.
Made me go check in all the way up top.
Yeah. Not too surprising.
Yeah.
Now that you
I remember when this first came out and we did the convoy. Every time we were coming here,
Okay, here we go.
we kept getting stuck having to drop off up top.
Yeah.
Thanks for the follow. It's supposed to read that out. I don't know why it's not reading it out.
Trying to direct me to go up there too.
Right.
But I see where the pickup actually is, down in the green.
And then turn right.
Yeah. Well, this one, I forgot. This one makes you do the security check-in.
Turn right. Finding new route.
Green. I don't know. Is that where I'm going? I'm not seeing any colors on my... I think that's where I'm going. Oh, wow, that's tight. This is the bigger one in the out of them, right?
I think so. We're Springfield or...
I think it is. I know this is the more famous of the ones.
I make a wrong turn already.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, looks like I did. Oh, well.
Tracker would work. Not too far off here. Yep. Gonna make me redo it. These orange icons is another one of my mods as well. If any of y'all run the game, I have it for both ATS and ETS over on Trucky Mods. Replaces the icons with orange. I also lifted the delivery points up, as you can see. So like when you're running map mods, where sometimes you can't see, like Alaska's a, you know, North to the Future is a good one. A lot of times the lines will be under the map. This fixes that issue. Okay, how do I get out of here?
Yeah.
Let's see. See a sign that says exit. Guess I can follow it.
I'm still trying to find where I pick up from.
You're getting close.
Yeah, I must be. I see you.
Exit this way. That's not an exit. That's the rails. Whoop,
Well,
I just missed the exit.
Well,
Dang it.
trucks keep popping in. I was right where I was going to go to turn around. Yeah. Good. I got the easy
Drive
button on.
safe.
I'll do it that way.
That was low. Let me. Says do not enter. Okay, remember there's a gate that needs to lift as you're coming out. I see a for science moment.
Oh, yeah?
Uh-huh.
I'm following the exit sign, so see if I can pick up on it when I pop out there.
Never mind. I'll find a new route.
I'm gonna go take a swim.
Oh, yep. For science moment.
Aww. There's an invisible wall. Dang it. I locked my diff in and it's not working.
From what I see, it looks like your front tires are over the rock wall.
My fuel tank's in the ground.
Depth
All right.
console back a little bit. Yep, that was a good
There we
for
go.
science moment.
It would have been better if it let me in.
Yeah,
Kind of like the Euro truck one.
yeah, where you jumped off into the ocean and what was it, 130 something mile an hour
Yep.
underwater?
Then you got you in the Winterland doing almost 200 miles an hour without moving an inch.
Ready to turn left.
You were just spinning.
Yeah.
So guys, give us a minute or
Turn
two.
left.
I need to use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. Ah. All right, yeah, I'll be right back. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Okay, yeah, I gotta grab something to drink real quick.
Oh.
All right, I am back. I'm back anytime you're ready.
Uh, Definitely gonna need to find a fuel stop along the route. Don't need it yet. Where are you at?
A little under
fuel.
half a tank.
If you're talking to me, I can't hear you.
How about now? Hello?
What? So we might as well just fuel up there. Oh, yeah. You're muted on Discord.
I am. Don't show to be. That's what I was looking at. Mute, unmute. How about now?
Muted by me. How the hell did I? Oh, I know what I did. You should be able to talk now.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah. When I went to go reach for my drink, I have, on my stream deck here, I have the people that are in the voice chat so I could scroll through them
Yeah.
to raise or lower their volume. But if I tap the screen where it shows me who I'm doing that, it mutes them. And I bet you my finger accidentally hit it when I went to go grab my drink because my drink was right in front of it.
Ah.
I'm gonna get fuel. See your. Let me reset. Yeah, it's got me going up by where Acura is. Yours has got you turning left out of here. Just go there. No, I can't. Because it wants me. Why is it doing that?
Oh, there's fuel stops right across the road.
Yeah. Why? Got. Do I have a. No. You're right there. It wants me. It wants me. It wants me to turn right out of here for some reason.
Once you go right,
That's
go up
where
and hit
it's.
the highway, and then.
Yeah, shoot down. Instead of shooting over. We'll go your way. We'll just hit this fuel parking area right up the road. Instead of going. Yeah, that's. No. Stupid game.
Yeah.
Oops. Yeah, might want to turn the diff lock off.
Yeah.
Before I gotta pick up my differential out of the side of the off the side of the highway. He had that happen with a driver. Left his diff lock on and freaking differential was just laying in the middle of the road.
That's not good. They don't move very good that way.
Let's find a new route.
Nope.
When possible, make a U-turn.
Bad thing about the orange icons mod is I forgot to turn that one back on.
Yeah. Oops. Bring that back. This is supposed to be all chat. Get rid of that. Hey, now I gotta look at my truck. Why do I feel like it wasn't always this white? Or was it?
What's up?
The interior. The res belt. And it's
Yeah.
white.
Yeah. Yeah, there's parts of it's pretty cut and picking white.
I don't remember that. You know why? I'm thinking of I bet you I'm thinking of either Ruda's or the Hater built.
Yeah, I've been using a pre-made copy of the old Viper 2 truck that the Hater built was based on,
Yep.
and I really like that one. Like
Well, maybe
like
you
before.
will let you add it to the mod list.
Do up?
Maybe HUA will let you add it to his mod list.
Yeah, I don't think so. It's on Bear's mod list, so
Mm-hmm.
it's what I drive when I'm running with him. Oh.
I guess no matter what, it's got to give you some sort of a flashbang.
Yeah.
Get
Well,
ready
you
to
know,
turn right.
it's appropriate. It is the 4th of July. Well,
Yep,
technically, no, it's the 5th now.
for you, but the West Coast isn't.
Right.
Actually, Mountain,
Yeah, Mountain
still
and
11 o'clock Mountain time, yeah.
Mountain and Pacific are still
Pacific
celebrating the
should be
4th.
still.
Go straight.
Pacific should be just starting their fireworks, because usually they start them at 10. At least that's how everywhere out here has been doing it. It's at 9:30 or 10 o'clock.
Yeah, little town I live close to's got one for tomorrow night. I don't know why tomorrow night, but
We got places setting them off Sunday.
I didn't catch what time they plan on starting it, but I figure
Go
probably
straight.
about 9. It's usually dark here about 9.
It got the Six Flags Darien Lake does a laser show every night, and then they added this is they do a big fireworks thing for the 4th, and they weren't able to start the laser show tonight until
Go straight.
9:30. It wasn't dark enough yet.
Yeah.
They do a good job with the laser show.
Yeah, the time of darkness kind of depends on whether you're on the eastern side of the time zone or the western side of it.
Yep.
Keep left. And then turn left. Turn left.
We are delivering to Nogales, Arizona. I think it was.
Sounds right.
Won't let me look that far. But yeah, I think Arizona.
Yeah, Nogales.
Keep left.
Started off in Springfield, Missouri. A bunch. I believe I have my mod list down in the description. I may not, because this was a last minute put together for YouTube. True Mirror FOV. A version of real companies that I put together. These trailer skid mods, truck skid mods, orange icons, res built. Realistic headlights. I have a garage mod in. A company driver mod in. No, I don't. Not on this one. Well, that truck's just randomly so no, he got hit. One single metal coil.
Keep left.
Running Slav Jerry's. What is this? 3406?
Yeah. Yeah, 3406. It's an older version. It's like version 2.0, and he's up to like 4.0 on it, last I knew.
I don't like the sound of the newer versions. Quiet.
Yeah, that's what I always disliked about the newer versions. I kept going back to this one, and everybody I've shared it with really seems to like it, so.
Yeah.
Must not just be my taste.
Now, I know what he's doing because in a lot of the newer trucks, the noise dampening is a lot stronger now.
Yeah, but
They put a lot.
newer trucks ain't gonna have a 3406.
Keep left.
That's very true.
I mean, I know up until somewhat recently, you could get a glider and build one with a 3406, but that's kind of out the window now.
Yeah, that really upsets me that Pete and Kenworth are doing away with their long nose, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of get it, but I don't like it. But at least with the 589 Peterbilt, they kept the classic looks, the old school external mounted air cleaners, and they went back to lights more reminiscent, headlights more representative of the old 379 with the square look to them.
Yep.
Kenworth, on the other hand, that W990 is just butt ugly. No external air filters, headlights that are just hideous to look at, in my opinion.
What is it? Freightliner did the Coronado, and instead of having the round air filters on the side, they just added those little filter scoops.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like the look of the truck because it went back with that square body look, but I'm not a big fan of what they did with the air filters on the side. Now, Western Star, you can still get your air filters on the outside like that. I forgot what model number it is. But my company just bought a couple of them not too long ago for heavy hauling. You see, normally when we get apples, we get bulk apples. We go take a walking floor trailer out and they just dump them in there.
Then exit right.
Yeah.
Because we
Exit right.
and I think what happened is I think we've upped our cider production so much because now we do it year round for certain companies
Keep left.
that we no longer have enough of our own in storage anymore. So they've been having to go out and buy apples.
Wow. Good to see sales up.
Yeah.
It's always a good sign for the health of the company.
Well, I'm not too concerned about the company going anywhere because it's been around since 1852. We are one of the oldest companies around. And it's been in the same family since 1852.
Yeah, as long as they don't let an idiot get in charge.
Yep. I mean, the water industry is what really helped the company out. I mean, the body armor water you see in the stores, that's us and only us. We have the sole contract to it. We do smart water. We do almost every local grocery store, convenience store chain in the Northeast. We do Lidl. We do Aldi's, Walmart. Stop and Shop, ShopRite. And then remember when Hint water came out? That water with the real fruit essence in it?
I don't know that I ever heard of that one.
So what they do, they basically use essential oils to flavor it. They use the fruit essence of it instead of the actual fruit juice to flavor the water, which helps make it healthier in a way because you're not getting the added calories or sugar or anything from the juice.
Yeah.
But we tried doing our own of that and it just didn't really kick off. We used to do Mackenzie's hard cider until they realized that they were touching it too many times before it actually made its way into sale. Because of the way they had the licensing set up, we couldn't brew it at the one plant. So we'd have to brew it up in Barker, New York, which is about 70 miles north of the main warehouse. Then we'd have to take it in a bulk tanker down to West Seneca to have it bottled, because we couldn't bottle it up in Barker. We didn't have the license for that. And then the bottles would have to go back up to Barker because West Seneca didn't have the license to sell it or ship it out of there. So we would touch it 3 times before it would make its way to the store.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see where that not being very efficient.
Yeah. One of our newest things is they got into making lemonade now too. We also supply the apple juice that is used to make Smucker's jam.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. I've delivered the bulk juice to a Smucker's place down in Virginia.
Keep left.
I bet that place smelled good.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it smelled pretty interesting around the Seagram distillery up there in Ontario, Canada, but I wouldn't exactly call it good.
Mm-hmm. Tell you what, almost anything smells good compared to a freaking paper plant on a hot summer day.
Close second on that one. I think pig feedlot still takes the cake.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Hot summer day, yeah. Hog farm, definitely. Whew.
Yep. That was one of the jobs I had before too, was used to pick up hardwood wood chips and take them down to Domtar in Pennsylvania, which is a subsidy of Johnson & Johnson, for them to make paper products with.
Yeah,
Keep left.
I've hauled in and out of paper mills before, and yeah, they're not a pleasant place to be.
No. Actually, that job there was the job on how I learned how to drive a loader. Front end loader.
Yeah.
Driving it up a ramp in the middle of winter and hoping you don't slide down sideways and tip. Because you used to have to load your own truck.
Wow.
And it was one of those where the keys are in it, figure it out.
Then exit right.
Yeah. The old
But you know
school
what?
way.
I'm sorry. That's one of the best ways to learn.
Yeah.
You don't have someone breathing down your neck. Just hop in it, take it slow, and figure out what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know?
That's the old school way. There it is. Hop up in there and figure out how to do it.
That's how I learned how to drive 13 and 18 speeds too. Boss asked me, you ever drive an 18 speed? I'm like, no. He's like, well, you're gonna learn today. Okay.
Yeah, that's one I never have driven, but there weren't that many of them around back then.
Yeah.
13 speeds were common, 15 speeds. Of course, most of the company trucks were like some stupid old 9-speed. And they got the job done, but not the most efficient.
Yeah. Driven an 8-speed, driven 10 speeds, 13 speeds, 18 speeds. I haven't done a 15 yet. But I know that's what our bulk water trucks are now, are 15 speeds.
Yeah, I don't know if the newer 15 speeds are different from the ones they had back in the day, but basically it was glorified 10 speed with deep reduction, 5 under low.
Okay.
And gear
Yeah.
positions 4 and 5 are reversed.
I've done that. I was never told, and I didn't have a sticker in the truck when I hopped in it. Uh-oh.
AI truck on the opposite side just flipped over backwards.
Oh.
I don't know what precipitated that one.
Yeah, when I worked for this company the first time and I was hauling water with them in the tanker, it was mostly just 8,500 gallon tanks, triaxle. And we could fill those. We were permitted to fill those. We had a quad axle 10,000 gallon, but we couldn't fill it.
Too heavy for the roads, or?
We just didn't have the permit that high for the weight.
I can see that.
Now, though, they do, because now that's all they have are quad axle tanks for the water, running 10,000 gallons at a time. You're grossing out at like $1.40.
Well, that's heavy.
Yep. I used to run at night, so when I would get stuck with the quad tank, I'd fill it. Because DOT wouldn't be out. Like I said, that's one of the nice things about New York. We don't have actual scales. DOT will just randomly set up at either a pull-off rest area or in a tandem lot. And then they don't weigh you, they just do the walk-around inspection.
Yeah.
Unless you piss them off, and then they'll pull the portable scales out and weigh you too.
Yeah, Oklahoma used to didn't have any actual scale houses. They had a few slabs over on the side of the highway where they would set up a makeshift scale house with the portables. But now they've got all kinds of actual weigh stations.
You know, with how greedy New York is with money, I'm surprised we don't.
Yeah.
You get somebody that's overweight, that's another ticket.
Yeah, it is. I remember I worked for county there for a little while driving a dump truck. And one day the DOT was out there weighing trucks as they was leaving the asphalt plant. The county basically just shut us all down and said, no, we're done for the day.
Probably what would have happened to me if I got stopped last night. $13,000 over.
Yeah. Yeah, like I say, the soon as the county got word of the portables being set up out there, they're like, nope, we're not risking it.
Yeah.
Told us all to take them back to the yard. That was also one of the jobs that, for a lowboy, they would work you to death trying to load and unload something on it. Instead of having the detachable tongue, it had the old lay-down style tongue. When the CDL come along, that was the truck I ended up having to use to take my CDL test, because I hadn't been with them long enough to be able to get a grandfather. Probably one of the worst trucks I ever drove. Old Freightliner cab over with a 671 Detroit and a 7-speed.
Keep left.
Oh.
And to make matters worse, it was a spring ride tractor. That thing beat me to death. Didn't take me very long at all to go find something else.
Oh, that old International 9800i that Goodwill had. So happy when I finally convinced them to sell that one.
Yeah, I worked for a local pipe yard that had I think it was a 9600 Eagle. What a pile of junk, basically.
Old International.
But, you know, it was home every night, going to work Monday through Friday. Didn't pay the greatest, but what the heck.
I wish my last company would have never have shut down the warehouse here in my town. I would have been there for 3 years now, so I would have been making $105,000 a year.
That's not chump
salary
change.
based.
Yeah, that ain't chump change by any means.
Nope. I mean, if this place would actually give me the double runs like I'm supposed to have, you know, hauling doubles, I'd make over 100,000 here, but I haven't had to run a load of doubles in probably 2 months now. That'll change once the one guy actually retires here at the end of the year. He bought a house down in Florida, so this is his last year with him. But he wasn't supposed to stay on till the end of the year. That's why they hired me for that route.
Now they just got you doing whatever they can get you, find to get you to do to keep you on the payroll, huh?
Yeah, but there's another route that might come available. Because we wound up getting the Crystal Rock contract back for the 5-gallon bottles. And they need a driver that's willing to stay out all week. Because I won't have the hours to make it home every night, basically. To run doubles from Buffalo to Albany.
That would probably be a pretty good paying gig.
Yep. It's when I run a set of doubles, I'm guaranteed $100 per diem, and then depending on where they're going, I can choose to get paid hourly or mileage. Hourly would be $27 an hour, and the mileage is 69 cents a mile. I know when I did the Syracuse run when the guy went on vacation, that was 5 loads of doubles Monday through Friday. I wound up making, I think it was like $2,300 before taxes for that week.
Yeah, that's pretty decent money.
Keep left.
You know, since my truck was outfitted to run doubles, that's why I wasn't worried about that load being as heavy as it was and not being able to, the truck being able to handle it. Because when I run doubles, I'm running turnpikes, 248s, and both 48s usually have about 40,000 in them.
So it's specced out with the heavy duty rears and everything, huh?
Yep. It's got a 110 more horsepower than the other trucks that we have. I think I'm running a 525, and the rest of them are running like 415s or something. I have the DD15, the other ones have the DD13s in them.
And pulling that extra weight, you need that extra displacement and more
Yep.
torque. That's one thing that a lot of people don't realize. The horsepower rating isn't quite as important as the torque rating.
Yeah. I know, like, when I was hauling, the first time I did that bulk apple juice load, I was, you know, following behind someone. And, you know, he would get me on the straightaways because he'd have the extra, you know, acceleration on me.
Yeah.
But when it came time to climb hills, I'd catch right back up to him.
Exit right.
And that's what he told me. He's like, yeah, your truck's set for running doubles, so you're gonna have the more torque and horsepower to climb these hills than what I do. And I don't think his was governed at 65. I think his was governed at 70 because it was an older truck. I can make my truck do 70, but I'm only allowed to let it run 70 miles an hour, 120 minutes a day. Because it's for what they call pass smart. Gives you that extra 5 miles an hour to pass somebody.
Well, I definitely agree with that. I mean, that's one thing that I've always disliked about trucks that are limited at, like, 62, 65 mile an hour.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have any way of getting past somebody if they're running along there and
Keep left.
don't really want to speed, even in a 65 mile an hour zone, but don't want to let you pass them either.
Turn left.
Yeah, see, I do, because I hate that. So if I know there's a truck that's behind me or getting ready to pass me and he's only maybe got, maybe his company governed him at 67, I'm going to back off and let him get in front of me. Just to help, because otherwise we're going to have the snail race going on.
Yeah. Yeah, it was one that used to be real irritating. Get out there on interstate highway, and there'd be two freight haulers from the same company running along there in trucks that could only do 62 mile an hour, but one of them was convinced he could pass the other one.
Yep.
Get out there and block both lanes 62 mile an hour for 30 minutes.
Yep. Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah.
That's why I back off. Go ahead and get past me. Because I know when I get stuck behind someone that can only do 62, it drives me frickin' bonkers. Because my truck will speed. Because my truck also has that adaptive cruise control in it. Which I don't mind, because the frickin' dash cam I have also pays attention to how close you're following.
Yeah.
So if I run the adaptive, I'll limit getting nailed for that on my safety score at the end of the week.
Get ready to turn right. Turn right.
One thing I don't like is the lane departure system on it. Because your truck's pretty much as wide as the frickin' lane is, so if you just go off just a little bit, it starts yelling at you.
Yeah.
And you can shut it off,
Straight.
but it's only temporary. It kicks itself back on.
Keep left. Then turn left. Turn left.
Blind spot monitoring on it's nice though, because it actually knows if you have a trailer attached and it adjusts the blind spot length.
Yeah. That kind of stuff would be very hard for me to get used to. The vehicle I drive where I work now, it's got blind spot, backup camera, and all that crap, and it drives me bananas.
Yep. It did at first. Then I got used to it. Because I don't like a computer telling me how to drive.
Yeah. This curve's a little too sharp for this rain.
Which is why I don't think I'll ever be comfortable with the idea of the self-driving trucks they want to introduce.
No, me neither.
This is just too much weight, too big of a vehicle. And I'm sorry, a computer can never know what the human mind's gonna do.
Yeah. Especially when half of those human minds don't know what they're going to do half a second before they do it.
Yep. And the thing is so far the technology they have for it, it'll never be 100% automated. A driver will still have to be in the truck because a driver will have to deal with the city streets and backing into a dock.
Yeah.
From what I was watching. So it's like, what's the point then? Just let us drive. It's like the whole, even the cars, the Teslas and shit. There's been too many instances that make me not want to trust it.
Yeah.
I mean, look at all the shit that was going on in California when California had started doing those self-driving taxis.
Yeah.
Running over pedestrians and everything.
I don't know what's going on, but every time I go into a curve, this truck will slide around.
You probably have ooh, I'm sitting here watching your stream to see what you're talking about. There's a setting that causes the slipperiness of the roads and shit to be even more advanced. And I don't know if they changed it in this update. I didn't really look to see what all got
Go straight.
screwed with. I need to do that. In fact, before I go to bed tonight, I'm gonna extract the base files so I can dig into it to see why Dusty's garage won't work anymore. Pilot looked at the logs and it said something about the file's just too old. I can the double-decker garage that I use still works because that's a fully remodeled garage. Like the guy actually built the garage from nothing on Blender.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Because I have Viking's garage modding right now, and I did his as a double-decker. Mainly because it gives me more options to customize. One of these days I'm going to try to build my own, but that I'd have to do that when I decide to take a vacation.
Yeah.
Because I've been out of Blender for so long, I basically have to go through all the frickin' tutorials again to remember what I'm doing. I tried doing it the other day, and I don't remember what I'm doing.
Yeah, yeah, I got the same problem with the programs for trying to do a truck paint job. It's been
Go straight.
just long enough since I've tried doing one that I'd have to have no distractions.
Yeah.
Keep right.
They have changed a couple things since I started doing it, but in my opinion, it's actually made some of the
Turn right.
tasks easier, but it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
There's other ones that it's just like, why'd you have to mess with this? I like the fact that they finally, with Mod Studio, they finally added the Steam Workshop upload export so that it actually exports it in the format that the Steam Workshop uploader needs, and you don't have to create it yourself anymore.
Ah.
There's a certain file format you have to use, folder setup, in order for the Workshop uploader to read it.
Keep right. And then turn right. Turn right.
It's been a while since I've been through here.
Yeah. Been a while for me too.
Been a while since I've decided to do a run this long too.
Yeah.
Lately I've just been doing, you know, I might jump over to into one more state or maybe two, but I think the most I've done recently is a 600-mile run. But
Yeah, it's been a while since I took one quite this long, but
thinking next weekend, maybe jump up to Alaska.
yeah, I hadn't done that in a long time.
We could even do it for this week's actual Sunday Fun Day. It's throwing me off that today isn't Sunday.
What about me? I mean, I've been on vacation all week.
Yeah.
I haven't worked a lick since Saturday, since I got off early Saturday afternoon, and I don't go back till next Thursday.
Yeah.
And it's only costing me 3 days of vacation time.
Nice. We could even do it tomorrow night. I don't know, what's your kid available at all this weekend?
He should be.
Get a third person in here. Maybe I can twist Pilot's arm and get him to join. I know he's jumping around and doing family stuff.
Yeah.
Like he jumped into my stream real quick and said I'll lurk while I put the kids to bed, and that was after 11 o'clock. So they got home late.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like it.
Keep right.
And then I kept them up late last night. We were playing Call of Duty until about 2 in the morning.
Exit right.
Yeah, like I say,
And we
I don't know what son's got planned for this weekend. Yeah. Ended up working today. It
Turn
was
left.
voluntary. Normal, his shift is Monday through Friday, or Monday through Thursday. 12 hours a day. But he just transferred to that this week. So he worked last Sunday, then Monday, all the way through to Friday. don't have to be
Yeah.
back to work again until Monday, but he was going over to his sister's this evening, so
Yeah.
I haven't talked to him yet. I will eventually
What I'll do
because he
is
swiped my pickup.
so I'll throw events up for tomorrow night and Sunday night, and we'll just see what we can do. Like I said, I miss playing the game. It's tough for me to go drive solo right now, because it's like I do it all week.
Right.
Yeah.
Um,
My GPS is doing. Yeah. Okay.
Exit right.
yeah, I wanted me to get on I-10. I think we're gonna stay on 10 to 19. I've never been down here on this profile. So once we hop on to 19, it's going to be all new road discovery for me.
You know, I don't know if I've been down that way in this profile or not. Yeah, I guess I have.
It just makes these runs feel like they go so much quicker when you're convoying with someone to talk to.
Yeah, yeah. It's even better than, just like being in a Discord chat, chatting with each other while you're doing solo runs.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm fine with that too. That's why I try to be on the phone with someone when I'm driving in real life too, just to have someone to talk to, because you can only listen to music or audiobooks for so long. That's what I mostly do. I listen to audiobooks while I'm driving.
Yeah, my brother does that a lot too.
I'm on the last book in the John Sanford Trey series, which is I think almost 30 books long now.
Wow.
It's a thriller murder mystery deal. Kind of upset because the one guy that was the narrator for the book all the way up to the last two passed away, so they brought some new guy in, and it isn't the same anymore.
Yeah, I can see that.
You listen to over 20 books narrated by the same guy, and now they throw some new one in that doesn't even have the same vocal range as the first guy. It's a little higher pitched.
Yeah.
He's got another one, the Virgil Flowers series, which is another detective in the book, and he decided to spin off and let him have his own series as well. I felt that they should have brought that guy over to start narrating the Davenport series, Lucas Davenport, which is the Prey series. But they didn't. They brought over the one that the Davenport's daughter became a agent for Homeland Security, and he just started a series for her, and the guy that they had narrating her books is the one that took over for the Prey. He's big. He's in the same realm as like James Patterson and what is it, Clive Custer and all them. Only difference is what Patterson does. Patterson basically just puts his name on the cover and always has a co-author for his books.
Yeah.
And the book is really the co-author's book. But Patterson throws his name up there because his name sells.
Yeah.
Where Sanford writes his own books. What the guy used to be a news reporter in the Twin Cities, Minnesota. And then after he did an author's note at one of the end of the books and explained what got him into being an author rather than what he was doing. And he said he just going to too many disaster scenes after a tornado or murders and this, and he just had enough of it.
I can definitely see that.
And obviously his books are all based out of Minnesota.
Oh, yeah. Write about what you know.
Yeah. I like
Makes
him.
logical sense.
And I've actually read all of his books too. I have all his books on my bookshelf in the living room. I like reading them first and then listening to the audiobook. Because even with, like a movie, you can watch a movie 5-6 times and you'll always find something you missed the last couple times.
Yeah.
And the same thing happens when I listen to these books. I pick up a detail that I missed the last time I heard it.
Yeah, and I guess listening to it in audio form after having read the book, you pick up stuff that you didn't remember about.
That, or you might have thought you were pronouncing something appropriately and you weren't.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's not always the case either, because this new narrator they have is pronouncing the names of some of the cities down in Minnesota completely different than what the old guy used to.
Go straight.
Or the names of some of the characters. It's just like, how do you make that mistake? You'd think the publisher would catch that. Like, we've been hearing it called this for the last 20 years, and now it's going to be pronounced a different way.
Yeah.
The only thing he does do really good, which makes me think maybe he's actually from that area, is he can do that Canadian accent really good. Because a lot of people up in northern Minnesota sound like they're Canadian.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, even if you start talking to Sean for a decent amount of time, you'll hear it with him too.
When I first started talking to Sean, I thought he was from Canada.
Yeah. And he lived in southern Minnesota. I mean, he was down there at the southwest border of Minnesota. He was basically in South Dakota. He was down in hills.
Yeah, the way he talked, it just always reminded me of somebody from Canada.
Yeah, Sean sounds more Canadian than Viking does.
You're right.
But I think it's just the part of Canada Viking's from, because Rashid has the Canadian accent pretty bad too.
Yeah.
And he's from over here. He's from Toronto.
yeah, I'm sure there's different accents for different areas of the country, much
Yeah.
like there is here in America,
Here.
you know.
Unless you live in Florida, that's the only southern state that don't sound like they're from the south.
That's because half the residents come from the north.
I tell Dusty that all the time. I'm like, you're a southerner, but you don't sound it. I think the worst with the southern drawl accent is I think to me would be a toss up between Alabama and Louisiana.
Tell you what, some of them Cajuns down there in Louisiana, I can't understand a word they say.
Yeah. Because they're missing all their teeth.
That, and they use a lot of French adapted words.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like when I went to Quebec, Canada. I couldn't understand a thing anybody was saying.
Yeah. My school actually took. So what they were doing, I think they stopped it though after COVID, is every 2 years the foreign languages would take a trip, and they would go back and forth between the one time they'll go up to the French kids would go up to Quebec, and the Spanish ones would go down to Mexico. And then after 2 years, the next trip would be they'd actually go overseas and hit Paris and Madrid.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Go straight.
The Paris and Madrid trip was pretty expensive. I tried convincing my parents to let me go, and it was a hell no. I think it was going to cost like $3,500.
Yeah, that's a bit pricey.
Yeah, and unlike my senior trip, I couldn't use any of my fundraiser funds to pay for it.
Exit right.
Where like when I went on my senior trip down to Florida to Disney, all the money I earned fundraising from the time I was in kindergarten helped pay for it. So I think I only wound up paying like maybe $200 or $300 to go down to Disney for, I think it was 3 or 4 days. And that included, we had to take a bus, so we took a bus down there, the hotel, the meal plan, and the hopper ticket to go into all the parks for the time we were down there.
That's pretty good value right there.
Yeah. And back then, they still had what they called grad night. And so all the seniors, they'd shut the park down. Then an hour later, the senior classes could come back into the park, but it was only Magic Kingdom at that time. They'd have the rides open longer for us, and then at midnight, they'd shut everything down, bring us over in front of the hey Leonard, how you doing? They'd bring us in front of the castle at Magic Kingdom, and then they had concerts going on until like 3 in the morning. They locked us into Disney.
That'd be pretty cool.
Last night there. Yeah, but we were the last class to get to do it, because then Disney shut it down. That's good. So, kind of neat. My sister got to go down for her senior trip. They flew. I was pissed when I heard that.
Yeah.
You got to fly down? I had to sit on a bus for 23 hours. We all used to joke, we spent more time on a bus than we did in the park. Because we had to take a bus down there, a bus back, and then in order to get from the hotel to the parks, we had to take a bus.
Yeah. I can see that.
It was fun.
Keep right.
I'm glad I did it.
Exit right.
There wasn't many of us that did it. I mean,
Exit right.
we only had to rent one coach bus to take us down there, and we still had empty seats. But I had a very small graduating class. I think it we were like, it was either like 83
Get ready to turn right.
or 85. And that included the repeats.
Wow. It is really small.
Yeah.
Right.
Of course, it's got to be right there.
This is where it ends.
But I kind of like that. Being in that, living in a small town.
Yeah. I mean, I can definitely relate to that. I mean,
It was, because before that, I mean, I got stuck we moved a lot when I was growing up. I wound up going to, I think it was 4 different schools before we finally moved to Holland, and we just stayed there. But the one school I was in, there was 4 or 5 elementary schools and the 1 middle school. I mean, they split the grades up into 3 different teams. And I think the one team, my team that I was in, had more kids in it than what my graduating class had at Holland.
wow.
I think one grade at Lakeshore had as many kids as we had in the high school in Holland. Flashbang. That wasn't much of one. I got an overcast sky this time.
Yeah.
No, it was nice. But I was just happy that I was able to stay. I didn't have to change schools while I was in high school. We moved to Holland when I was in the summer of going into 7th grade. But it still makes it tough because by that time, everyone already has their cliques.
Yeah.
And what I did was I joined the Boys and Girls Club out here and made friends pretty quick. That's why I always recommend that place to people that have kids that want an alternative to sending their kids to a daycare or a babysitter watching them. Because it's a good place, safe place for kids to hang out. We used to play basketball, dodgeball. They had a place for the kids to do their homework. And they tried to keep everyone separated. Basically, high schoolers got to go for free because it was more for like 2nd through 8th grade. So the high schoolers could come, and what they do is the first hour gym session would be for high school only. Because we'd still get a couple high schoolers that would show up. if the middle schoolers wanted to play with the high schoolers, they could. But a lot of times they didn't want to. But yeah, it's a nice place growing up with. What email did I get? But my rig needs a total restoration. Really? I have to fix one of my driver's trucks? Ray B. I haven't, that's the first I've seen that. I got an email from one of my drivers telling me that the truck needs total restoration. That he's been out of work for 3 days now and needs to pay the bills.
Well, maybe he ought to be better at his job and he wouldn't tear the truck up.
Right? Well, there's no mileage on it. How does he need restoration on it? Oh, this is one of the ones I bought from the used truck dealer thing. I mean, it is a Volvo, so that makes sense too.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they need restoration the day they're built.
Yeah, looks like everyone else is good. Just say.
All right, I think I'm going to end my stream right about here, folks.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same. Thanks, everyone, for stopping by. Thanks for the subscribes and the follows. This is TruckerKing2010. Catch y'all next time.